It's been a while, kid. I guess the goat couldn't have predicted how you'd turn out, could it? Remind me to add a question about rescuing your teacher from the vault jail. If the vault ever goes back to normal, that is. By the way, while I was in there, I heard some worrying things from the guards. I heard one of the guards talking about some sort of plan to raid Amata and the rest of us. I didn't hear anything else, but I think he read it on the security terminal. So maybe you can find more there. I'm sure it's bad news for us all. Most of them are just kids who are caught up in the idea of seeing the world. But I know we've got to actually open the vault if we want to survive. Otherwise, we're just going to dwindle away down here until it's all too late. It was pretty rough, I'll tell you. I know a lot of folks blame your dad, but I know he didn't mean to cause all that. Don't blame him or yourself. Watch yourself down here.
Well, I see you've returned. Done with the dust and ruins of the Wasteland, are you? Given up looking for Daddy? Thought you could just slink back in like a teen missing curfew? Well, that's too bad. You have no future in this vault. You're tainted. That would be where you're wrong, young man. By locking down this vault, I'm protecting its future. In fact, I was protecting its future when I had to make those unpleasant choices the night you and your father abandoned us. I only wish I could have stopped your father before he left. If anyone's to blame for the unpleasantness, it's him. Spoken like someone who's never had to make difficult decisions. Like someone who's never had to lead. Jonas was leaving with your father. Their departure would lead to others leaving as well. And before you know it, half of the vault would be gone. And then, our home, the last safe, pure bastion of humanity, would be reduced to a lonely handful of aging holdouts, too few to continue. I'm afraid you're the short-sighted one here. I'm simply keeping them safe and untouched by the war above. The real danger are the rebels and insurgents who insist on risking all of our lives just to die out there in the wastes. If they weren't trying to throw our lives away like that, we could go back to the peaceful life we once had. Everyone would be happy again. They have to understand that we did that to keep them from going outside and getting killed. To keep them from making the same mistake our generation did when we were their age. Some of us already lost loved ones out there long ago. We won't lose any more today. To fix what you started? Go ahead and humor me. Oh, do you? What makes you think you know how better to protect this vault? Damn it! I told them I won't let this degenerate into violence again. The vault simply can't take the instability anymore. But maybe you're right. They simply can't stand the pressure anymore. And now the purity and perfection of my vault is crumbling all around me. I wish I could share your optimism, but I suppose you have a point in your blathering way. My way won't save our vault's mission, but if I let them contact the outside world, I might be able to save its inhabitants. But I'm not the one to lead them in that. I'm stepping down as overseer. I'll tell Amata that I can think of no more appropriate leader than she.
It's good to see you again.
Everyone, listen closely. After a discussion with your friend, I've made an important decision. In my attempts to keep us all safe, I have been, perhaps, overzealous. Lives have been lost, but perhaps worse than that, lives have been stopped. And in my attempts to keep you safe, I have kept you from growing up. I know I have made these mistakes, and I would make them again if I had to do so. That is why I cannot remain your overseer.
Father!
Amata, I appoint you overseer in my place. You've proven you have what it takes to make hard choices for the good of the vaults. I'm just sorry I didn't understand that earlier. Consider it one of many mistakes I've made.
Thank you, Father. I'll do my best to keep us all safe, inside the vault and beyond.
You're welcome, my dear. And now, if you'll excuse me, I feel quite worn down. We'll deal with the details soon, in private. Until then, I'm sure there are people waiting to congratulate you.
Morning.
Hey. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you here. Please.
Oh, it's good to see you're back from outside. It can be dangerous out there for someone your age. Oh dear, we aren't asking for anything special. The vault's been open before, but for some reason everyone tries to pretend it wasn't. I guess they try to forget the poor souls who never came back from out there. My poor grandson Jonas died is what happened. They say it was just an accident in all the confusion, but I know it was the overseer. Oh, please be careful.
Just keep quiet. You never know who's listening.
I never thought you'd be back.
It's not safe. We'll talk later. I just heard. My father says he's stepping down as overseer. He won't tell me why, but I have to assume it's something you said to him. You and him? Civil? I expected you to change out in the Wasteland, but not that much. But I guess we'll all be learning a bit about the outside now, won't we? As the new overseer, I'm planning on opening the vault. This time, for good. It's a bright new day for the vault, but I'm afraid there's one thing that has to change. There are still so many things to repair, and a lot of bad feelings to mend. Some people still blame you for what happened. So, I have to ask you to leave. I'm sorry, but the situation is just too delicate for you to stay. Please, if you really want to help the vault, you have to go. No, it's not like that. But if you stay, it'll just keep causing more problems. The vault can't take any more infighting. It's just what has to be. It'll be a while before we're ready to really go outside. But once the vault is stable again, maybe we'll see you out there. So, I guess this is goodbye for now. It's not much, but take this with you to remember us by. With luck, we'll meet again.
Sorry to see you go.
I'm sorry, but you have to leave. Goodbye.
Goodbye. We'll miss you.
Goodbye. We'll miss you.
Goodbye. We'll miss you. Goodbye. We'll miss you. Hello.
It's a shame you gotta go, but you'll do okay out there, I'm sure.
Good riddance. Get out.
Good riddance. Get out.
Good riddance. Get out.
about that, are you still having that issue with the head laser? I think the term you used was invariably destructive.
Yes. And I told you that in order to compensate for last Thursday's mishap, there would be some complications. I'm dealing with it.
Rothschild, old friend, you're a brilliant technician, but this old man's patience is wearing thin. I want a full status report in 3 hours.
All right, all right. I'll see what I can do. You honor us with your presence here. May I start by saying that I am sorry for your loss. I was acquainted with your father many years ago. The world has lost one of its few remaining visionaries. Think nothing of it. Now, Dr. Lee has explained your predicament. You need to locate some Vault-Tec equipment? Are you quite sure? I suspect that would be a waste of time. Regardless, the Brotherhood is not in possession of such a device. There is, however, a way in which we may be able to ascertain the location of one. Possibly. I'm afraid I won't be able to assist you directly. The news Dr. Lee has brought will require me to be elsewhere. I can, however, give you access to an old pre-war computer from Vault-Tec. It may have the information you need.
You'll find the terminal in the archives in the A-Ring.
You are welcome. If you require further assistance, I may be able to help.
Hail.
I'm afraid I have other duties to attend to right now. If you find the computer to be helpful, there may be more I can offer. I'm afraid you're asking the wrong person. If you insist, what do you want to know? Well, that depends on who you ask. Lyons will tell you it's because we're protecting the poor, innocent people of the capital Wasteland. Most others here will tell you the same thing. They'll do anything for that man. I'm here for 2 reasons. 1, Lyons needs me. He always has, just as much as I need him. We've been through a lot together, he and I. 2, take a look around you. Access to this kind of technology and the benefits it could provide to the Brotherhood is immeasurable. We arrived here in '55, established ourselves in the Citadel within the first few months. The Elder has kept us busy since then. Not really. No. The Brotherhood of Steel is bigger than what you see here. We're only a small division, you could say. But that's a bit of a sore subject around here. Much has happened in the 23 years since we left the West Coast. Our mission has changed in that time. The changes have not all been pleasant, and have had significant repercussions. Some did not approve of the Elders' decisions. Initially they followed because we are all taught to follow the Elders. I am, and have been since we first found him, well over 20 years ago. Liberty Prime is the designation we found on file for him. Magnificent, don't you think? At least he will be once all systems are operational. It's the energy consumption. Something that big with such advanced weapon systems. We just don't have the means to power him. Not yet. Could I? Yes. Will I? No. Go see Peabody or Bowditch. He was developed as a superweapon back in the days before the war. The first joint operation between RobCo and General Atomics International. Apparently, he was meant to help liberate Alaska from the Chinese, but was never completed. They were forced to go in without him. They won, but suffered heavy losses. If we can get him up and running, well, I think you get the idea. Don't hurry back.